Hey parents, David here with Hands of Hope, here to hit you with some more information about our youth and talking to them, having meaningful, deep, consistent conversations. And what I want to talk about today is music. Music is such a big deal to young people today. The generation, we call it Generation Z, is in love with music, arguably more than past generations. So I just want to talk about it a little bit and give some information and some pointers on how to handle this. Access to music, like most things, is greater than it's ever been before. You can stream it. You don't have to go out and buy a CD. You don't have to borrow it from a friend. You don't have to wait for your song to come on the radio. It's just accessible anytime, anywhere, and Gen Z is in love with it. Instead of allowing unlimited access or banning it altogether, let's have conversations that teach our kids to be responsible Christ followers, wise, discerning Christ followers around music. So 85% of 13 to 15-year-olds acknowledge that they stream music online. 70% of 16 to 24-year-olds agree that music is important. So what this means is that's the vast majority of young people today acknowledge an importance of music in their lives. Because there's access to so much content, just an overwhelming amount of content, it makes it really hard to discern the difference between the two things, the harmful messages and the messages that are good or okay. So the thing about music is that it engages our entire brain. It's hitting us on so many different levels, emotionally, intellectually, and that's why it's so engaging to young people today.
My name is Steve Seiler. I'm the founder and director of Music for the Soul. Let me demonstrate for you how powerful of an influence a song can have on somebody. When we listen to a song, we're processing the language part of the song, the lyrics, with the left hemisphere of our brain. And when we're processing the melody part and the rhythm part, we're using the right hemisphere of our brain. So our whole brain is engaged, so the song really has our attention. And then when you add the fact that melody and rhythm create the mnemonic device, the studies have shown that people remember as much as 90% of what they hear in music as opposed to 10% of what they're told. So when kids are hearing these messages in music, these are going to stick with them.
Because there's such a deep connection between this generation and music, when a parent seems disinterested in what music your child is listening to, it communicates that you're disinterested in who the child is, because a lot of times our kids attach identity to the type of music that they listen to or the things that they like. So we want to be careful not to communicate those messages to our kids. We want to be able to enter their world, whether we're inclined to like a certain style of music or not. We want to enter their world and be on their level in order to relate to them in that way. Not only does music engage our whole brains, but it also affects us in some subtle ways. A lot of times, a line that you'll hear from young people is, "Oh, I don't listen to the lyrics. I just like the beat, how the beat sounds." Well, in Philippians 4:8, the Bible tells us, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." What's interesting about that verse is it's not talking about how the content we put in affects us, but it's commenting on what content we're actually putting into our brain. So that's where something like the lyrics, we do want to be concerned with. We do want to talk to our kids also about the lyrics that they listen to as well. A lot of times what's more important than if a certain artist or song is labeled as Christian or secular is what's the heart and the message behind the song. So I wouldn't say that it's good to restrict non-Christian music only allow Christian music or any somewhere in between that. Really, it's just more important to think about what's behind the song, what's the message behind the song sending. So having these conversations with our kids communicates that we're interested in their lives, we're interested in what they care about. And it also gives us an opportunity to speak into helping them discern what messages are healthy for us, what messages are unhealthy for us to consume. So what I suggest is research the artists that your kids are interested in. Ask them, what music do they like? Ask them what's their favorite artist, and do some research. Put in the work, listen to some of those songs, look up some of those lyrics, and familiarize yourself with it. So for example, what you can do is print out the lyrics of a popular song or a song that your child said they like in particular. Go over those lyrics and ask them some questions about that song. For example, you could ask, what do these lyrics say about the value of women? Or you could ask, what does this communicate about the value of life? And just any topic that these songs or lyrics communicate, ask them questions about that. Get them to think deeper. Get them to think through just the artificial veil of just the beat or the fun-loving nature of the song. Get them to think a little more deeply about it. For younger kids, maybe just start with asking what type of music they like, what type of music their friends like to listen to. Tell them what music you like. Tell them what your favorite songs are and listen to those songs with them. Here's some other questions that are good to consider when you're talking to your kids about music. Is the music artistically good? Because that's really important to young people today. Is what's being said true about the world? Because not all healthy messages are positive and uplifting. There's some really healthy perspective that some really hard messages, some really strong messages can send us, just like the Lamentations in the Bible. Not everything is uplifting. The Bible contains ups and downs and everywhere in between, and music helps us connect to those messages. Also, how is this message being communicated? It's possible to say the right thing in the wrong way. So it's also good to examine those things, all the while helping them understand what are my limits, helping them choose for themselves what healthy limits around music are. So it's also healthy to set limits for our kids, especially for younger kids, as to how much time they're allowed to spend doing things and the type of things that they consume. Again, we don't allow unlimited access, but we also don't want to put on restrictions that will make them want to rebel. So let's find that middle ground and let's engage with our kids with the things that they like, get into their world, and show them that music is just a tool, something God created for us to enjoy, and how we can consume it in a healthy way. Thank you.